5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. G's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Clockwork!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Raga Siren.
Dire team pick.
Disruptor!
Ten seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
Night Stealer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Beastmaster.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Witch Doctor.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Lycan.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
LOTV, how are they going to look to counter this lycanthrope out? They already have the Life Sealer, which puts them at a slightly difficult point. again, this just makes me want to have the Sand King even more, to be honest. It's the instant initiation is very strong versus Lycan. You've got good catch potential as well. The Blink Power Strike, and of course a natural 4-star builder too. So you've got a long range initiation, long range catch if Lycan is on the retreat using his wolf form. And they would be a lot more reliant on using the Hawk to scout defensively rather than aggressively. Of course, if they don't want to go for the Sand King, then there are a couple of other heroes still available in the pool. I doubt they go for the Underlord, but instead it will be the Enchantress. So Enchantress down towards the off lane is it's not one of those amazing Enchantress games where you just go ahead and say, okay, this very much counters out most of OG's drafted. It's in fact, it's okay at being aggressive in the lane at least, if nothing else, so you can get away with a lot more versus the Naga Siren and Disruptor. But with Disruptor having the glimpse and Naga having the net, they've actually got quite a bit of lockdown to keep her in place long enough to take her down should she be caught out. So OD will be banned now by OG. They themselves, of course, will not be playing it. No tails on the Lycan.
5 seconds remaining. Via team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Dragon Knight.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Shadow
You may now
Fiend.
select your heroes.
And then Disruptor now. Well,
Prepare for battle.
the Disruptor and No-Till will be taking over the safe lane as they will be forced to fight up against Bulldog. It's an okay matchup considering that you are of course not going to have the Naga around. So Bulldog actually has quite a bit of space to do a lot unless we see some incredibly good wolf blocks coming through. Unless we see some incredibly good wolf blocks coming through from No-Tail onto Admiral Bulldog to prevent him from getting away long enough that they can get the right clicks out. But now that the Untouchable has been skilled, No-Tail knows that there's no point in trying to trade hits with the Enchantress. Rezo, he's going to be forced back from the rune as a 4-man movement down towards it will have ensured that the dark side will be able to get that. And interestingly enough, No-Tail is continuing to run away. No-Tail continuing to run after Bulldog rather, but now he's going to be able to get a few more swipes in. This battle is not one that No-Tail is going to be able to win, though he does have the extra regen in the form of a salve. No-Tail will be forced to fight up against the Bulldog Enchantress for the rune, and in the end might just end up giving it up. He's going right, he's going left, he's able to get on top of the rune, gets it easily. I lost the bigger battle that was going on across the map, though, as SH takes down S4. And unfortunately, seems like, although No-Tail was able to get the first bounty rune of the game, they weren't quite able to get the first blood of the game on their own side. Rezo over towards the mid lane now. And he might be circled around upon. If Jovite can take down the score, that would have been big, but Jovite is a bit too slow and he can't make his way over in time. So, S4 and company will be who we keep an eye out for, because the rotation could actually come through. This is potentially looking to be a trial in from the Dire side, and now the cogs coming out. Jerax is caught out. He's going to be trying to back his way off, but from there comes out Jovite. Could be catching out S4. They're not sticking together on the Radiant side, and actually changed my mind. They bounces to and fro despite there being a couple of creeps. It goes onto the heroes, and with that S4 should be going down. Cogs to push him back. An early death from S4 is not how he wanted to start this lane off. Jerax will have the Riptide coming off of cooldown in 2 seconds as well. One more right click should be able to secure it, but he's forced back as Cube comes in with the block. And Jerax, now he has to be careful because Cube will have his cogs off of cooldown soon enough, and he catches out Jerax. Jerax will be going down, trying to return some fire. Will be able to do so, but at the cost of his own life. 3-0. OG will start things off the wrong way once again. Laning phase not really looking great. Of course, it's only a minute and a half into it, but so far, this gives a lot more space to Bulldog as well to work his magic, and Jerax stunned up. He's going to be pursued up as well. Open wounds were there. That's a problem with having a support Naga Siren versus a Life Stealer. He can just get close so easily to get those open wounds out. Slows him up, forces him back. No salve on him, no regen on him now that he's used his last tango as well. And similar story for the mid lane where Resolution is dominating. 8-for-1 already, and this may be slightly deceptive in terms of the numbers. 8-for-1 versus a 9-for-0 seems very even indeed, but the Shadow Fiend being even early on is practically domination from a very weak laner that he is. S4 top lane caught out, battery assault going through as well. One more right click from Cube will take him down, and S4's counterpart across the map, well, he's just got his boots finished up and he's just continuing to try and get some experience out of this lane. Still level 2, unfortunately hasn't been able to interrupt the pulls too effectively to continue and bring the levels into his own favor. But S4, he's having a rough time himself. Middle lane is what I'm interested in. It's so rare these days that we see a pure 1v1 matchup to come through, and Resolution will be flourishing. This really is a big reminder of the Empire days back in the day when he used to play Shadow Fiend. Was one of the best Russian mids of that time. Not Russian, well, best mids of the CIS region. I think he's Estonian or Ukrainian, I'm not 100% sure, I don't remember exactly, but Cube continues forward, catches out Bulldog, catches out S4. Battery Assault will be able to get some more damage out at 2. Jovite's stun, though, will not be sufficient as they're not willing to die at the tower just quite yet. It will reveal the fact that Naga Siren has made her way over towards mid, though. And Storm, oh no, he doesn't realize it just quite yet. And Resolution turns around. They've got the Riptide as well. One more Shadow Fiend Shadow Rays will be able to secure them that kill as well. Great rotation, and slightly questionable from the Dragon Knight to actually maintain his position in the mid lane for as long as he did. despite Naga Siren not being at the top lane, which was absolutely proven when she wasn't around to try and save her Beastmaster from being dove, but he tried to go for an advantage versus the Shadow Fiend. But now, well, that advantage will be going towards the Shadow Fiend even more so. Cube comes in, he's got his battery assault, and that is apparently intimidating enough to make sure that Resolution and Jerax back off the cogs, trapping in Storm for a little while longer, but Storm won't be able to get much done out in this lane while Naga Siren sticks around. The 1v1 that I was so surprised about is very quickly being turned to a 2v3 as even more rotations will be coming through. Witch Doctor from the sidelines, they've got an observer ward which should be able to scout him out because he is not smoked up, nor does he possess one. However, that's where this is going to get interesting. It's a trial in on trial in action. They go in with the net onto the Dragon Knight. They're going to be able to get this kill more likely than not, despite Dragon Knight's tank ability. Resolution needs to turn around, get that last raise out. Storm's trying to close the distance to get more damage in, but Resolution will get that kill easily done. Jovite should be the next man to fall, and the only person to get away will be the Clockwork. Rezo, early 3 kills, with the one earlier on the Dragon Knight as well, is having a very good time for himself. No tail. Throwing out that howl, and well, Bulldog is getting his levels. Bulldog is making sure he doesn't die, so it's slightly, I would say slightly better than what S4 has managed to accomplish so far, even though S4 has taken up a bit more attention around the map. But as I say that, Bulldog's looking to get even more out of this. The battery assault comes through. No Tail is going to be getting a lot of damage dealt out onto him. Great cogs positioning means that he's going to be forced to juke around the trees, and even that won't be saving him, as Cube, one more battery assault proc will take him down. That's the start Bulldog needed. And with the extra siege creep that he's already managed to pick up for himself, they should maybe be able to push out the tower a little bit as well. That's what you see him doing, trying to push out the range creep. In the process of doing so, though, he will find that his own middle tier 1 is underneath heavy fire, as Resolution will be the man assaulting it. Resolution, be careful. There's Jovite coming in from the back lines, but they've got a sentry from the Radiant side preemptively. Nice double raise. Will catch out Cube, takes him down immediately before he can even get the cogs off. Fly is going to try and close the distance for the glimpse, but will not be able to do so. Level 1 glimpse, unfortunately. He did, of course, go for the 1-1-1 build that is so standard. And Jovite will try and convert his Invis rune into a kill onto S4 instead. But S4 is playing so defensively that he shouldn't really be at too much risk right now. Fly will be able to take down the tower as well. And, well, that will be traded away with a kill on S4 on the top lane. Jerax does TP through, but he's not in time. And nice little net dodge with the Infest. I like that play. I like that play a lot. Storm being forced back. Resolution doesn't care if he's already pushed up towards the tier 2. It doesn't really matter to him whatsoever. More action should be coming through on this top lane, but they've managed to scout out the presence of all these heroes already. 3 heroes there, and Fly is looking to get busy with his level 2 glimpse. Shouldn't be too easy though. This Clockwork is having a very good game so far despite his 1 death. That kill on No Tail was absolutely humongous though. That could be a... that should have been a turning point for Bulldog, and indeed it seems to have been, because Bulldog now, he's got the lane to himself. He's just farming it up continually, and now top lane action should be coming in. They're trying to bait out the net. They've got more than enough people behind them. A lot of pings coming through. I'm not sure what that's about. Cube perhaps realizing there might be a couple of wards around, but oh no, he's been caught out. Resolution gets a 3 raise combination, and it's a mega kill streak for him, 5-0. And Rezo is having a scary game to start things off. Already something's being delivered out to him on the courier. That's going to be just his basic items, the drums and the initial things that he needs before he can start going for specialized items like a Yule Scepter. That would be for the magic damage build, or anything else that he would like to go for. Storm, where he was having a decent time early on, trading out CS evenly. Now he's down to 34, with a couple of those having been neutral kills. 8 minutes in, they're not doing well in these laning stages whatsoever. Bulldog, the only person who's somewhat evening out his, even though No Tail does seem to have quite a bit of farm. Bulldog is level 7, which is a nice little jump above S4, who does also have his roar up and ready. Look to see him rotating around to try and use it, but rotations will be coming out from Shadow Fiend, who's got the haste rune, is smoked up as well, is moving forward. This could be turning around at all of Bulldog's luck so far. Rezo's going in, doesn't have the Requiem, doesn't need it either, only needs the raises, and he will get all of them. Turns around one more, and it will be the unstoppable streak coming out from him. Jovita and Cube inside the tree line, both of them waiting for their TPs to be used, and they will back off and forfeit the tier 1 tower because of those. S4. Well, he's going to try going down towards the mid lane. Storm doesn't have mana. He could find himself in some trouble. S4 does have the roar, chooses to use it. Fly can follow through with the kinetic field, but they won't even need it. One raise in Rezo. He has all 7 kills of his team so far. Every last one of them. Lycan, though, needs to be careful. He's being chased down. And well, Jovita, they're going to be backing off. Cube will be glimpsed back. Easy kill for them. No-Till will secure it. Ulti comes through, shapeshift, and one more swipe will be needed, but it won't even be his own creep. It will be his own creep, actually, that finishes him off, the Centaur, to do the trick. Meanwhile, bottom lane, their tier 1 will be taking some serious fire from Lightsealer and company. Tower trade to come through, and again, OG so far coming out on top in this laning phase. Jerax might be some slight pick off over here if they can try and bring in backup by the time Jerax gets back towards the tier 1, but that's looking very, very difficult. Jovita, the closest person, somewhat slow, and Clockwork unfortunately does not have his level 6 just quite yet. Cube really needs to start getting that experience up for him. If his team can just prioritize that, then the hookshot cogs into some more firepower could end up saving them for now. However, by the time they even gather around this tier 1 in the mid lane to try and trade it away, the tier 2 at the top has already taken a fall, and OG doesn't look to display any signs of stopping. If they want to put any pressure down towards the middle lane, then they're more than willing to try and trade in building damage, because they've got more than enough right click power on buildings to come out on top in that trade. Bulldog, drums are ready. If they can somehow manage to get a kill in resolution, that would be huge, but like I said, that would need the hookshot. And that's why you see the Clockwork so far away from the action. That's why you see him trying to farm up these neutrals to try and just finish off that level 6, and Bounty Rune should be picked up by him, and as soon as he does that, he will be able to get it up for himself. Goes the right direction as Fly almost catches him out. Could have been a tricky situation, even though there's very little backup. Lycan can come over very quickly. No shapeshift though, so I scratch my words off right there and then. Jerax. Song of the Siren could catch out the Enchantress, but it's a big investment to make just for one hero. Although they could potentially turn that into a Roshan soon after. Enchantress is a lot of the damage coming out from the Dire side right now. Those impetuses can be incredibly painful to deal with. Invis rune out on Jerax. And again, no sentry wards out. Of course not. You don't expect it. There's no Shadow Blade out on the Shadow Fiend just quite yet. But Jerax will be able to scout out a lot of these players. Could actually set up. Looks like that's what they're looking to do. Rezo, though, unless he TPs over towards this top lane, or even just walks over from what it looks like, this could be massive if they catch out 2 of these players over here. Indeed, they will. They're standing right next to each other. Rezo's going to go set up for a Requiem of Souls. This is going to be such a problematic situation. They're all... Okay, never mind. Mistimed, and unfortunately for the Dire side, that won't seem to matter whatsoever. Rezo now godlike, 9 of their kills, and the last one he was involved in as well. Now bottom lane, No-Till in the meanwhile might be giving away the trade, and indeed he will. Jovita with the last Maledict will finish him off, but this could be a Roshan that we see going down. They're definitely nearby enough to take it down. 13 seconds before the respawns come through, but even though their low levels allow them to come back very quickly, I doubt they can fight around the Roche pit, because this Roche will be going down by the time they're even here. S4 with that medallion. And Cube, although he gets the vision, there's no hook shot, there's no initiating power, and there isn't any Death Warrant either. He's too far away and he doesn't have the mana over on the bottom lane. So they will be forced to give up their Roshan, even though they have knowledge of it taking place. Jerax on the Naga Siren. He might be a little bit miffed about that last song that he wasn't quite able to pair up with the Requiem in time. It's not a very common combination that you actually go for, but Storm has to be careful. They do have ward vision in the vicinity, and they have managed to gain some map control around the Radiant side jungle, but they're still pretty consistently going to be at risk because they can't take a team fight while this Aegis is still up in particular. Shadowblade out on resolution as well, so he's going to be looking to make that known and make that put to use. Jovite looks to be the first target for that Shadowbladed Shadow Fiend. One right click, pair it up with another raise, and he's practically going to be dead from that in itself. 1, 2, and that's all they need. S4 finishes that one off. Jovite goes down 11-7. And things are looking even more difficult for the Dire side right now. Observer Ward will go down on the high ground, and that's a signal that the barracks will be their next target. TPing back the Dragon Knight, but he can't help. Oh no, this is problematic. Now they don't have the Dragon Knight. Now they don't have any way to be able to defend this. They might even go try and take down a tier 4 or 2, or if nothing else, at least try and turn their sights on towards the tier 2 in the middle lane, which is what they're trying to prevent by killing off the creeps early on. Cube goes in, a nice little cogs onto 2, but there's no follow-up. And the bottom lane, tier 2 is traded away for Raxes. That is not a trade you're too happy with on the Dire side. And honestly, Resolution, the amount of lead he's been allowed to get is absolutely ridiculous. 11,000 net worth, 16 minutes in. And he's just going to be able to fight up against the Lifestealer despite there being open wounds on him. One more right click and he doesn't even get the chance to infest himself. Is sparing up or readying up the Requiem of Souls. Turns around, tries to take down Bulldog, but he's going to use his drums and get right away. In the backlines, though, Storm may be tanky, but he isn't tanky enough. He's going to be taken down by a support and the offlaner. That's just how underfarmed he seems to be. Treads and drums, that's all he has, and that's not too bad, but when you compare it to the time that we're on right now, when you compare it to Resolution's farm, Resolution is literally more than double his net worth right now. A very difficult situation to find yourself in.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And before, I was under the impression that Cube maybe could try and pair something up, try and get a quick hook shot out, and maybe they can get enough damage to be able to take down a player and force them back, and that could have been the game changer, but for now, they just seem to have too much to work with. Now, Lifestealer's TPing in aggressively as well. He will be able to force him back, but only for a little while. As the song comes through, he's going to be forced to infest into a creep. That creep is killed immediately afterwards as well. Resolution finishes him off. He's got no buyback, and this is GG. It's 17 minutes in, and OG will finish this off. Ultra kill for Resolution. Might even be the Rampage, and indeed it will be. Resolution 15-0 and 4, 17 minutes in. What a performance coming out.